Today we're going over a real estate market update for Jefferson County for September. We're going to be looking at all of August's numbers and discussing what they mean for you, whether you're looking to buy or sell in today's market. Now, if you are new here, my name is Spencer Lowe. I'm with United Real Estate Louisville. Make sure you click that subscribe button as well as that bell notification so you don't miss the next market update or buyer and seller tips video. Now, the first number we always like to look at when it comes to our real estate market updates is our inventory. And what we're looking here for is what's known as our absorption rate. And in the month of August, we're sitting at 2.48 months of inventory. Now, what's really important to realize is how they calculate that number is they take the past 12 months of buyer demand and they divide it based on how many houses were sitting on the market. So let's say in the past 12 months in Louisville or Jefferson County, we've had 12,000 home sales. We'll divide that number by 12 and then we get 1,000 home sales per about 30 days average. Then we take that 1,000 number and we divide it by our total number of houses. So let's say we had 2,500 houses on the market. We have 1,000 on average sell each month. We divide that number and we get 2.5. So we have 2.5 months of inventory, which is basically where we're at right now in the market. Now, what's really important is we need about 6 months of inventory before we start to see an even playing field amongst buyers and sellers. So I've heard a lot of talk from the media saying that we're kind of in a buyer's market. We're not necessarily in a buyer's market. We're just in a less severe seller's market than what we used to be in. Now, the second number we always like to look at is our median days on market. And our median days on market is essentially from the time a house is listed to the time they accept a contract. For most houses, how long does that take? Now in August, we're sitting right at 9 days was our median. Now, the last number that we always like to look at is our average sales price. And today we're going to be looking at our year-to-date numbers. So we're going to be looking January 1st to the end of August. And in Jefferson County, we were sitting just above 325,000 with a little bit of change. Now, year-to-date versus last year's year-to-date number, we're actually sitting up by 4.65%, which means your home's value has probably increased a little bit. And if you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting to buy, that house that you were going to buy is probably going to cost you about a little bit over 4.5% more this year than it would have last year this time. So if you are curious of what your home's value is doing, I do have a free calculator down below. So click the link down below to go get your free instant home evaluation estimate. And then if you want me to run some numbers for you, I've also got my cell phone number down below and I'd love to run some numbers for you. So feel free to shoot me a text with your address and I'll get started on them. Now, what do these numbers mean for you? Well, if you're looking to buy in today's market, it is important to realize that we are still in a seller's market because our inventory hasn't reached 6 months and our median days on market is sitting at 9 days. So we do need to move pretty quickly when it comes to buying. When it comes to buying though, the best thing to do is get pre-approved early in the process because having that pre-approval letter is gold. Most sellers aren't even going to entertain an offer if they know you haven't even been pre-approved yet. They want to see that your credit's been ran, that the bank has all your pay stubs, and that your bank also has all of your savings documents and everything else showing that you have the cash to purchase the house. The other thing is you want to make sure you sit down with an agent early in the process, discuss timeframes, your goals, and everything else, what you're looking for, and when you need to be in the house by. If you're interested, give me a call. I got my phone number down below, and I'd love to sit down and talk to you about it and get you started on the process. Now, if you're a seller in today's market, it is really important to realize that yes, we are still in a seller's market, but just because we're in a seller's market doesn't mean that we can just throw the house on market and not do any prep work, planning, and overprice it. Okay, we want to make sure that we do professional photos and videos, and we want to promote the house properly. Now, I focus a lot on social media marketing, and the reason that I do that is because our median days on market right now is 9 days. We can't get postcards out in that time. So what I want to focus on is I want to focus on getting it out. In my last listing, we got 4 offers in 4 days. We got 70,000 impressions in those 4 days, and we ended up selling it for multiple offers with over asking price. So if you are curious about getting started and seeing my advertising strategy, feel free to give me a call. I've got my phone number down below, and I'd love to sit down and talk to you about it. Once again, my name is Spencer Lowe. I'm with United Real Estate Louisville, and I'll see you in the next one.